And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Thank you for joining us today on the Alaska Weather Program. I'm meteorologist Emily Niebuhr. It's July 29th, 2023. You can reach us at 1-855-937-4977, online at weather.gov/Alaska, or you can reach out to our media expert, Peter Chan, at NOAA.gov. We'd love to hear from you, so please reach out. Let's start out looking at your lightning conditions. This is yesterday's lightning from July 28th. We had 819 strikes, so definitely fewer strikes than we've had in the last few days. Also, much more in the eastern and northern part of the state. We're starting, as that trough continues to push into the state and stabilize conditions and causing cooler temperatures, we're starting to erode some of these thunderstorm areas. We're still seeing widespread lightning in the Yukon areas, which we're expecting for the next few days. Fortunately, we have no hazards today, no watches, warnings, or advisories. We do have a special weather statement out from the Fairbanks office. They're expecting higher water levels along rivers that are glacially or snow melt fed due to all the warm weather lately. There's been a lot of melting going on, so if you plan to travel in those rivers, use extra caution before you start traveling. Let's look at your thunderstorm outlook for Saturday, for today. So you can see we're expecting similar areas that we saw on that map there from yesterday. So what you saw yesterday is what you get today in terms of coverage of thunderstorms. We are also expecting a few strikes associated with that low pressure system in the western Bering. It has a little bit of a kick on it. So even though it's a little more rare to get lightning strikes in marine environment, it could still happen today. Sunday, we see a little bit of that area erode, but we could still see a few strikes in the central Aleutians. We also see this area for lightning erode across the eastern portions of the state as, again, that trough continues to move eastward and stabilize conditions, so fewer lightning strikes. By Monday, again, we're expecting a more narrow area of lightning and thunderstorm potential due to, again, some of that stabilization. Here's our look at our fire danger, again, for grass fuels. Where we've been dry and warm is definitely where we're starting to see a greater risk, in some cases very high. So, but across the majority of the state, we're still fairly low conditions due to all that rain that we've had lately and cooler temperatures. Here's our drought monitor. This was released this Thursday. So we're starting to see with some of this pattern change we've seen lately, some drying out. Still kind of the lowest on our concerns for the drought index, but it is a lot abnormally dry in portions of the interior. Looking at our satellite today, you can see this a decaying frontal system across much of the state of Alaska, bringing showers from the Kenai all the way up to Ukqiavik. And we also have a low pressure system that's centered near Shemya. Here's the latest radar imagery from that we have from Saturday afternoon. You can see it's causing light but perpetual rainfall across much of the Kenai Peninsula, portions of Anchorage today. Here's today's weather map that NOAA is discussing near Shemya. We also have high pressure well in place across much of the Bristol Bay area. And we have a low pressure system in the Gulf of Alaska that, again, its trough frontal system that's dissipating, stretches across much of the state. Finally, we have that trough located in the Yukon kicking off some afternoon thunderstorms already. For tonight, that ridge is going to continue to push into interior Alaska, bringing some nice dry conditions for much of the western Alaska that, again, has been seeing a lot of rainfall lately. This low pressure system is very stagnant. It's bumping across up against that ridge and not moving too fast. So again, similar conditions and locations for that system tonight. Meanwhile, this low pressure system continues to diminish and sort of drift around the Gulf of Alaska. Sunday, again, that low continues to drift a little bit to the north and to the west, and its frontal system is still draped across the eastern Aleutian Islands. That low continues to sort of drift and meander and starts to bring a few clouds and showers into the Panhandle region. And again, that trough, that's the key for some of our convection, stretching still a little bit into the Brooks Range and bringing maybe some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, high pressure is dominant along the North Arctic coast and supporting some stratus in the area. Monday, we see another low pressure system moving towards Shemya again and bringing showers to the central Aleutians. We also have that trough still impacting portions of the interior and maybe create another round of isolated thunderstorms, especially in the mountains. That low pressure system continues to drift into the Gulf of Alaska. This time it drifts a little further southward on Monday, and that ridge still remains in place across much of the Bristol Bay area, maybe bringing in some low stratus for your Monday. Let's take a look at some of your temperatures due to these weather conditions. For the Panhandle, we're expecting temperatures in the low to mid 50s for your overnight Sunday morning lows. 56 in Anchorage, 55 in Talkeetna. So across much of the area, low to mid 50s for your overnight temperatures. By Sunday afternoon, we are warming up. 70 in Anchorage. We're looking at 77 in Talkeetna, almost on the doorstep of 80. And across much of the Panhandle, we're seeing 70 degrees, so fairly nice conditions. 64 in Kodiak Island and 67 in the Kenai. Monday morning, similar temperatures as we saw Sunday morning. Low to mid 50s across much of the state, the south central and panhandles of the state, I should say. 57 in Anchorage, low to mid 50s in the panhandle again. By Monday afternoon, we're looking at 81 in the Gulkana area. We're hitting that 80 finally. 76 in Talkeetna and hitting 70 in Anchorage. 67 in Kodiak Island. So underneath that high pressure, we're starting to see some warmth for your Monday. Let's take a look at your Sunday morning along the North Arctic coast. You can see that we're looking at temperatures from the low 40s to low 50s. In interior portions, Fairbanks 57. Sunday afternoon, we're going to be seeing some warming, but again, not as warm as we were a few days ago. We're looking at 74 in Fairbanks, staying below that 80 mark, almost nudging against it with the 78. And along the North Arctic coast, we're looking at temperatures mid 50s to mid 60s. Monday morning, we're starting to see temperatures, again, similar conditions, 57 Fairbanks, low 40s across to upper 40s Monday morning along the North Arctic coast, underneath some of that cloud cover. And by afternoon, we do hit an 81 in the interior, 79 in Fairbanks, and low 50s to low 60s along the North Arctic coast. For Sunday morning in Bristol Bay, we're looking at temperatures that are going to be in the upper 40s to lower 50s. By afternoon, we're looking at 63 in Bethel and in the 60s across much of the Bristol Bay area, especially in interior areas. For Monday morning, similar temperatures, upper 40s to lower 50s across much of the region. Monday afternoon, hitting 68 in Bethel underneath some of those, that high pressure system, allowing some sunshine to come in. In the upper 60s to lower 70s along portions of Bristol Bay, with, of course, warmer temperatures in the interior. Let's look at your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Again, across much of the region, the probabilities are for above average temperatures across much of the state, from the Panhandle to Ukqiavik. So expect some seasonally warm temperatures. And in our precipitation outlook as well, across most of the state, expect below average precipitation for this time of year, maybe a little more than a few showers above average near Bethel and Dillingham area. But generally some nice weather coming in the next 6 to 10 weeks.